Welcome, everybody, to another Horror Nights. It's Thursday night. You know, it's your boy here, Versace Stoner, along with the notorious Victor Sin. Tonight, we have some special guests in the house. We got, I've been following a movie called RedHead.
Yes, you mentioned that to me before.
And then I saw the post and I started meeting with them. And this is, you know me, I like movies that are a little bit exploitation, a little bit blood and guts, a little bit gory, a little bit crazy. And this hit all the key marks from just like one post.
Yeah, before you even told me about it, you told me about this. The first thing you said was brilliantly done.
And it was. But let's bring there's a star of we got a star of the show, and someone that made the show, the movie, the directors and everything. Let's bring Johnna and Sam Hodge on, shall we?
Boom. You shall.
Boom. Oh, you had it right the first time.
I know, but I switched it out because of the.
No, two back. We were
Two
all
back.
the same. Go back. Nope, the other way. Right there.
Right there. Jeez, I don't get paid to be a technical guy. I just be paid.
Well, we had to cut corners between the AI layoffs. You are a tech guy now.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Like I was saying, Vic, I love horror movies. I love all sorts of horror movies, mostly crazy exploitation films and such that other people cringe and can't get through. But I was stumbling through, the mighty Facebook, and I saw a couple of posts about the RedHead movie, and I think I saw some screen stills and stuff, and I was just like, damn, this looks like it's going to be something nice. I need to talk to these people and see what this movie's about. And that's coming from someone that, my favorite movie of all time is probably like Cannibal Holocaust. And, that's one of my favorite, or Cannibal Ferox even, like just crazy over the top films. But, they still use, and for the modern audience, today's film, that are still using practical effects over VFX, still using, classic film methods, and watching that movie, it hit all those marks.
Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's nice to be in that realm because we refuse to supplement any kill with or any scene with CG or any padded effects.
Yeah, we want it all practical, like what we grew up on, and
everything you see is
want to
in
make
camera.
everything that way. Yeah,
it's all on camera,
and make our own blood and make our own everything. And Sammy makes all the practical effects and makes them come to life. And in RedHead there was a lot of great practical effects. But in the second movie where we've been doing that, it's crazier and more gory and more of everything, more of what the gore lovers want, even more in the second one.
That's wild. I love it. I'm excited for that. Just even hearing about it. 'Cause, like I said, it is a good gore.
I just want to say for the record, it's not easy to impress Versace. It's not at all. So if he's this excited, this impressive like that, I'm enjoying this. It's like a little boy in a candy store right now.
Listen, I haven't been this excited since we had Fred Vogel on talking about his films. Okay, so this is exciting stuff. I like these kind of movies. Okay, and I like the practical effects. Being someone that is inspiring to be in film, is inspiring to direct, and actually put out a couple of short films that's coming over the next year. I like to always talk to people that are doing things that I would gravitate or look towards. And one of them is being the practical effects, because the VFX, let's face it, I can go and learn that. I can go and study that in a school. And I can do the same with the practical. But the thing about the practical is every, I would say, artist that makes the effect does it to their own little way or own liking. Your blood isn't going to be Servini's blood. It isn't going to be Leone's blood. It's all going to be different. And everybody has their own little signature marks that they leave on every film that they do. And it's great to see that, because that's how you can kind of just say, oh my God, that's who did the effects, or that's who did that work.
Yes.
Well, it's very interesting about you mentioned Savini because back in 2017, 2016 fall, uh, I talked about making a movie with Tom Savini at Scarefest in Lexington, and he said I bought a camera at Kmart and I shot a commercial, and he said what you need to do is put your money in front of the camera, and he said shoot your fucking movie, do it. Like, I mean, he said make your own movie, make your own movie. He said don't be a victim of excuses. He said because Tom Savini is the king of not making excuses. He said
Oh, yeah.
just
They find ways. He's found ways to make and overcome any obstacle thrown at him.
I made my first movie back then, and it was terrible. But he said put your money in front of the camera, and I've gradually learned how to do that. And
What was your first film?
it's called 12 Pole Manor. It's terrible.
I think it's great.
I don't believe there's a terrible horror movie out there. I just either believe
I think
someone's
it's
gonna
great. You would
either you
love
like it or you don't, because I believe like horror, like so many other things, are honestly it's truly subjective.
I
It's
think
how
great.
it makes
would
you
love it.
feel.
Well, it's got an X in it. That's probably why it's terrible. Like
It's got great practical
but
effects.
it's got a good effects.
It's got great effects, and I think you would enjoy the gore. It's very gory, and I think you would love it.
I shot it on a cell phone actually, so
Right.
it got worldwide distribution. It got picked up. So I took his advice. Like I used a cell phone and shot the entire film on a cell phone. And
Putting the money not into, because I mean you do have some people that will go out to spend $12K on a nice camera, and then they got nothing to shoot.
yes,
Yeah, we
No,
didn't.
I went middle ground. I found like something that I could do for everyday use, and something that I could do cinematically. It wasn't over the top, and it wasn't something that was going to break my bank. But I've definitely made other stuff just using a cell phone, because if you can do everything post edit and you can edit it right, then it will be fine. Because all you're trying to do is portray a story, and you want to get that story out there. It's not a motion picture. You don't got a bagging right now. Like for me, when I put stuff out for content, I don't have any major company going, well, we need to see results, or you're gonna lose your. It's like it's me and my pocket money. And this, I'm just seeing how far it can get me with what I got, because I like that game. How cheap can I be, and what can I make with it?
start shooting.
That's the way we always was, and we did buy later 2 really good cinema cameras together that we used for the other 2 features before we did RedHead. Well, actually, was doing RedHead while we did those. But so we did get those cinema cameras later, but we did everything like you was talking about. How can you do it when you don't have money and you don't have somebody giving you money?
If you don't have money, you have time.
You have time, and then you've also got your own mind to create things and how to make things yourself. And that's how Sammy thought about it, and how him and I put our heads together. Like, how are we going to create a movie that you don't have a budget, but you can make it happen? And we just went ahead and went with it. It took us a long time to do it because of the money, and also because of some of the obstacles we had to go through while we were making RedHead. There was a lot of crazy obstacles trying to stop us. And we didn't let it stop us. We just kept going.
Well, I mean, I think that's the way. I mean, at the end of the day, as a creative, any creative, anything, we become our own worst enemies. Our mind starts to work against us, and we're the ones that shut our own projects down or shelf them.
Yes.
Because we're like it's not good, or we don't think we can get it, or we just give up, and we just end up shelving stuff. It's like, no, you just got to just run with it.
And some ideas you've noticed down the road blew up, and you're just like, I put down the shelf. What the?
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
it's even like that. Like, I should have ran with it a year ago. Now everybody's doing it. But no, I mean, we are our own worst enemies. We do it even in the podcast world,
Well, the good thing is we had the strength because my pug died as we was filming the movie, and that was very harsh on me because I had her almost 15 years. and she had more lines coming, more roles that she was going to do, and she passed. So I had to get past that, which I I was good about. I got to finish this movie because the people that's in it are counting on this. So I wanted them to be. So then after that, tragedy stuck with me. Almost died, and I was in the hospital. My intestines ruptured, and they said I was going to die, and I couldn't move or do anything. I accepted it that I was going to die. The only thing I could say is I'm not going to finish this movie for everybody that was in it or that was going to be in it, and I can't let them down, and I'm letting them down. And I cried about that.
But
and
I said fuck the movie.
He said that, but I was still worried about it. But I ended up surviving, and when I survived, I went back 2 weeks later and went back to. I was like, we're going to finish this thing. And
I got to finish this now or never. Do or die.
2 weeks later, she had a spiky bra on and a shotgun.
2 weeks
and
later.
She blew a motherfucker's head off. And it was hilarious. 2 weeks earlier, she had her intestines blown out in her gut. And I had people telling me, you need to prepare. Like, she's getting pulled in for emergency surgery. And I had people calling me on my phone, like, can I talk to her one last time? I'm like, you cannot talk to her one last time. That's my wife. No, she's. And then
I gotta ask, who's your doctor? Like Herbert West or something? What did he do?
He was one of the oldest surgeons around here. He was very smart and very intelligent. And luckily, I got him. And he said, I'm going to prepare you that I'm going to have to do emergency surgery, and I don't think you're going to make it through it because I also have.
His best words was, I'm not going to operate.
Well, I also have RA. That's another thing. That's where my immune system attacks my joints. And I still work with that because I get shots and infusions that keep me going. So that's what a lucky thing with that is. So that I could do my crazy acting and carry chainsaws and do this crazy stuff. But he ended up deciding, he said, if I cut you open with the way your intestines are, you're just going to die on the table. So what I'm going to have to do is and they put a big old tube down my nose. It was like 10 times bigger than it should have been.
It was
like
size.
Dripping blood everywhere and messed up things.
Spraying
blood everywhere. And he was like, no, like I'm going to try to save you this way and hopefully it works. And he said, I'm going to have to put both your arms with antibiotics, completely going through you the whole time for days on end.
Both of her arms blew out from antibiotics.
And he said, that's the only way I can try to save you. And if that can't happen, then I've tried at least because I can't cut you open.
Both arms blew out with antibiotics.
Yeah, in a couple days, my arms blew out completely, like, because they were so filled with like both of them getting medicine in them on a 24-hour basis and stuff. But the good thing is I survived and I got to finish the movie.
Yeah, God bless. I mean, that's a miracle story in itself, and great, job on the doctor's behalf. Everybody that did that. I mean, I've been pretty sick before with pneumonia and stuff, and it's scary. But I mean, nothing like that, nothing that serious where they're coming in like that. That's scary. But you did make it. You did finish the movie.
Yes.
And it's good. I like it.
I was curious in your guys' life, what was the moment that made you realize you want to make these type of films?
When we met.
Well, not just when we met, but growing up as a little girl, I loved horror movies as a little girl, and so did he. He as a little boy, he loved them. And so abuse
got us.
We both had a terrible past. It was horrible for both of us, and the horror movies got us away from what we went through, and it helped us a little bit. It took us away into a different world. So that was kind of a big thing. And me and him both were so alike when we met about how we was and the same horror movies we loved, the same everything. So it was so great.
Our dog farted.
Yeah. Oh, I just now got it.
One of those dogs. What type of dog is it?
It just now hit me.
It's a Doberman mix. Like
yeah.
Oh yeah. Get the match ready. Get the candle out.
No, honestly, it's true though what they're saying, and it's coming out in studies. It's like horror movies, while you would think would be so bad for somebody like for me, I have at some points debilitating anxiety.
Yes.
PTSD and stress, but you would think horror movies would be the absolute worst thing I should watch, and yet I go to sleep watching them.
Yes. It's like a
They're comforting, and that's what this is
Oh.
kind of being. It's like, first of all, there's nothing on screen that's going to be any scarier than what's happening in the real world.
Yes.
And B, when you start to like make the film or start to like get into that process, you almost get some control over things because you're controlling the horror, you're controlling the terror.
We are
Yes.
we are the bad things. I mean,
Yes.
that's
Yeah, and then your mind almost is like, well, I can't fear them because I am them.
Yes.
Even though it's not real, it's cinematic. It's like playing a video game. It's like you get into that world, but you escape whatever the harsh realities are or whatever the traumas of the past are.
Yes.
remove the fear. I mean,
Yes.
take it and expose it for what it is and remove it. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know if the man behind the curtain thing, like the whole Wizard of Oz. I don't know if Wizard of Oz speaks to it or not. Maybe that is true. I mean, like, because you see the man behind the curtain and you're like not afraid anymore. Or we're seeking. Sometimes we seek something worse than what we could be. Sometimes we seek out something that could actually scare us because we've experienced the worst.
What's even more scary about me is that I didn't even have the trauma yet. And right before it all happened, I still loved horror movies. So that's a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could say
about
that
me.
too. I mean, even as a kid, I mean, I
Yeah.
have fond memories of my dad showing me like Halloween 2 and
Yes.
different movies and being
Oh my
scared
God.
at that point, being actually scared, but still being intrigued enough to go, I want to watch, I want to go, and there was also the nostalgia of, and I talk about this all the time, the marketing of everything, going into a video store and seeing beautiful covers would
Yes.
sell you on whatever movie, even if the movie was garbage. If that cover looked good, you'd be bringing it home and putting it in the player.
Yes.
Was there a movie like man eating fluff or something like that before?
If the cover looked good, you would bring it home.
Yeah. It was stupid as hell, but the cover looked good. But
Yeah.
I was in high school, so I thought everything was cool.
So she'll tell you. I mean, like we have a ridiculous poster collection, tens of thousands of dollars in poster, like original posters,
Nice.
video display release posters, and also theatrical release posters, and they're signed, and it's crazy. Like
I believe it. I do the whole con thing.
$1 is probably in posters.
I just started this year. I mean, I've always been a horror fan, but I just started this past April going to cons, and I've already filled the basement basically between getting all the figures signed, 8x10s, finding posters, buying posters, because they have a lot of the original prints and first edition posters you can buy there, and then you get them signed. I mean, I bought this huge Return of the Living Dead one to get everybody to sign it. Like, you just end up collecting and amassing a large amount of things that are very large in a very short amount of time. It's ridiculous. Like September, I had cons every weekend in my area, so it was like every weekend I was at a con. Every weekend I came home with a trunk full of stuff signed.
One of our sponsors thinks you have an alcoholic problem.
What?
Our sponsor thinks you're alcoholic because our money's going away somewhere. And
it's not. It's horror cons. I was just in Creature Feature. I spent money doing those photo ops with everybody in costume. Bill Mosley's the man.
Scranton. Who the hell goes to Scranton, Pennsylvania these days?
I drove 5 hours to Scranton. I stayed there for 4 hours, and then I drove 5 hours home. But I got everything that I needed done.
So last year, we spent a lot of time traveling, and that was because RedHead. I told her, I said, before it goes streaming, RedHead is going to be hitting the festival circuit, and so I submitted to probably 120 film festivals. Well, I think it got accepted to 30. So we had, what was it, 28 nominations, and I think we won 12 awards for RedHead, and so we ended up traveling a whole lot to cons and to film festivals.
What was the worst city you went to?
What's that?
The worst city.
The worst city?
The worst city. What city do you like? You went to. You're like, oh, this city sucks.
Probably here in West Virginia with Clarksburg.
In our own home area, it was the worst.
It was the mountain whatever. We got nominated for best feature.
I'll tell you why.
Because our hometown, when your hometown dogs you and gives you the middle finger,
our hometown
it pisses you off.
Vic, this is like your life.
Our hometown is a
you get nominated and they don't fucking win.
Well, the reason why it isn't just winning, it's because they're all jealous and they're trashy to us because they're all jealous because there is nobody here that likes to do horror or even loves to get people involved here. We're the horror king and queens here in West Virginia, and they treat us like we're trash because we do horror.
But then
they're all about drama.
But then
here.
we travel to
I mean that's what we did.
Also, everything full circle because they probably had this idea they put in the back shelf. You guys executed beautifully. And now they're all pissed off.
I mean, I hate to sound pretentious here, Vic, but this sounds very similar to what we did in the wrestling world. We came out on top. Everybody hated us.
I know.
So
we did podcasting there first. I mean, I didn't get 83.
Better than
well,
here.
Yeah, I didn't get 83,000 subscribers just paying for them. They actually wanted to tune in and listen.
So we went to Chicago, and then all of a sudden she won Best Actress. And best actor was Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yes.
Return of the Living Dead. And so they had a wonderful conversation at Scarefest in Lexington a couple weeks ago. But I mean, so she won Best Actress in Chicago. And that was easy for her because we went in Chicago and all of a sudden everybody was cool. And I was like, this is what it's supposed to be like. Because at home, everybody hates us.
But at home, it's like
it's jealousy, though. At home, they don't want to see you succeed because why do you? I hate to be that way, but if I'm from a town or whatever, I'll be like, why do these two people get to be the two to make it? Why not me, who's been working all my life? Because, well, some ways, guess what? It's who wants it more. You just said you came back from death to finish a film. Not many people would. Most people would curl over and die.
Yes.
I hate to be that way. And that's the difference between why you're making it and somebody else isn't. The determination.
She did come back from death to make her film. And,
to finish it because I wanted to let everybody have their film because they had already put their time and effort with me. And I wanted them to have their film. And I was determined to finish it.
Now, let me ask you, with all the hiccups and everything, how long did it take to actually film that
3
first movie?
3 years.
Okay.
It took
So, I mean, that's some severe determination. Year after year, you're watching the calendar go by. I'm sure when you started, it wasn't looking at a 3-year release date.
No, and we was doing another film
that includes post-production.
We was doing another film also for somebody else, so we had to go through for him to do all the editing and help film and help direct on it in between of that, and that kind of slowed us down on RedHead a little bit also.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. But I mean, 3 years, it gets to the point where it's not, I mean, crazy long, but it also is kind of the difference between who really wants to get something done and who doesn't. If you're sticking out with it, some people would bounce after a year, be like, "This is going nowhere. I'm out of here."
Yeah.
So you've seen RedHead. I'm curious. What is your favorite? What is your favorite kill or moment?
I don't know. I mean, to me, I've watched it a few times over. I had to watch because I'm someone that sometimes just gets so busy that I don't like sit and watch a movie like this. So I'm watching and I'm doing other things, and then I go back and I watch it again and watch it again and watch it again. But I mean, for me, it was like I really like there's something satisfying about a good revenge flick. Okay, coming from like something that you would watch, like I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left, like. It's hate to say it, but you get bloodthirsty for the victim. You want to see them just demolish and destroy everything in their path. Doesn't matter even how crazy it gets. I mean, for me, I think it was my favorite kill scene was when she had the saw and she's going right after the guy's private parts and she's chopping it to shit. She even licks a little bit of it, and And it's just like, you know, that to me is the revenge. You could see it in her eyes. It was satisfaction across the board. This guy deserved to be mauled. She needed to have it happen. It made sense, and I liked it.
Well, she does a good job of speaking practically. I mean, you can spray any amount of blood in her face, and even if it's not meant to be ingested, she will absolutely she'll open her eyes
in my mouth, and I don't care.
She'll open her eyes as wide as she can, her mouth, and if it's not even meant to be ingested, she'll still take it like spray.
And I really run the chainsaws in 1 and 2, both with the chain on.
Real chain.
It's not anything fake about it. I take the risk and have the chain on it and run it for real.
You didn't really run it through the guy, though, right?
No, I don't really. No, we made a.
Well, that's practical effects.
We're not making snuff films, right? Oh.
We made a body for one of the scenes in RedHead 2, but actually in RedHead 1, where I'm coming at the detective with the saw, it was kind of like a split screen.
Yep.
But then there's a part where I'm actually coming at him. I was actually over top of Sammy, running the chainsaw for real over top of him to get that shot. And then I had to aim it correctly over the
to line it up
so that it would look really like where I was coming at him. It was in the detective's angle.
POV.
Yeah, it was in his sight.
So I got to lay down on the ground.
It was crazy.
I laid on my back, and I said, I want you to come over me with the chainsaw, and I want you to get as close to the lens as you can. If you hit the lens, fuck it. I mean, and so I laid there, and she got close, and all of a sudden I felt the vibration of the chainsaw between my legs as I was laying on the ground.
I did it really well, though. I did it to where a couple test shots, and I told him to move his legs down more so that I wouldn't get his legs.
I had flip-flops and shorts.
So when I did it, it was a one-shot wonder. I got it, and I aimed right to the camera, stopped right when I needed to, was safe with him, and then I was like, did we get the shot?
I screamed, God damn it.
Yeah, he went, God damn it, that was scary. And then we got the shot. We got it. I was like, thank God, because I really don't want to go over you again. But it was a crazy thing. But we did it. We look back on it. We're so glad we did it the right way. And
the people that take the risks
took risks to make it right.
And that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I know you say that you didn't have a lot of budget going into the film, and it wasn't $1 million production here. But neither does it look like it's just thrown together either. With those, good edited shots and the way you did it and the practical effects, but not overused to the point. Because sometimes with effects, if you use and see too much of it on cam, you can start to see the fakeness. You have it all just lined up right with the editing that it didn't look like it was like some, trashy B film.
Well, thank you.
Well, our goal was to make something that, even though low budget, our goal was to do something to the standards of as good as we could be. I mean, why live up to your budget when you can live up to your maximum potential as a filmmaker? If you've got X amount of resources, use them. So everybody has the potential to do good things with what they have, and we feel that way. I mean, just whatever you can do it. I mean,
yes.
If it doesn't look convincing, get down and get do
would
it.
Would you say it's okay to scale back if it doesn't look convincing instead of putting it out there?
If it doesn't look convincing, fuck off. Like, that's how I feel about it.
With the best kill in the movie, I gotta agree with Versace because it's like this Terrifier series. You can see all sorts of but the scene of the guy getting a chainsaw up the ass, it's always gonna remember. It's always gonna be brain in my brain forever. The way that you pretty much mutilated that guy, through his test, it's right there. It's like that hits home for a lot of guys. That hits home. That's a sweet spot. No matter what, that's gonna be the scene that everyone goes, "What's the worst scene? The window, fuck to the ball." Oh, like you still,
Yeah, because it's not like she like slit his throat first and he was already dead. Like that's
No.
what killed him. She went in there first and he bled out.
right.
So he felt like
You like the sawzall on the testicles, huh?
It reminded me of that Japanese movie. Have
That
you
was
seen that
me.
Japanese movie about, you see the like this girl that everyone thought was so sweet, she helps out and stuff like that, but in her apartment she slowly dissects guys that she brings home, like the strangest. That's what it's like, the precision and just it's hard to weird me out. It's really hard. Versace took weeks to try to weird me out.
I did. I had him watching everything. I had him watching Serbian film, Martyrs. I had him watching all sorts of things to destroy his mind.
Destroy.
But at the end of the day, it's just chainsaws. Chainsaws have always weirded him out now. Ever since the Terrifier up the ass chainsaw, now he's just like chainsaws are it.
It's just like up the ass and the balls, and it's like, oh no, Jesus Christ, no.
So in RedHead 2, so you know how, okay, so I got the sawzall in the dick at the end of the movie in RedHead 1. I come to her in a dream in part 2. So I know you guys have seen some of the music video and things like that.
Yep.
So I come to her in a dream as an undead motherfucker that she has mutilated. So I teabag her with my cut open testicles, and I drop my busted nut in her mouth. It's really bad. And then
he sprays diarrhea in my face.
I spray shit in her fucking face and up her nose. In RedHead 2. So
the beauties of getting to work with your wife on set, right?
she's so in RedHead 2, like, I mean, she's laying in bed, she's like trying to rest, and I come into her bedroom from hell, and I come into her bedroom, and I get over her and I straddle her face, and I drop down and drop my cut open sack on her into her mouth, and then I say, and blow shit off. Like I spray diarrhea all up in her face, and practically the way that worked, like, we actually put corn in that, and like, so when it sprayed, like, corn went up her nose, like she had like sinus problems for like a week. Like, she was messed up, and that was so bad. What a champ. You know, she had corn on her boobs and everything else.
You can ask Vic. I hardly ever laugh on this show, but this one got me. That's great. That is really, honestly, truly great. Great scene, great writing, but just great memories and stories. Shit.
Well, you know, there's all kinds of crazy, and also, so in the first movie, the first RedHead, there's the guy that gets his intestines cut open with the shovel, and she strangles him with his intestines. It makes him taste his own poop. So she also faces him in hell, and he eats his own shit in part 2. Like he scoops some of his own poop out of his guts, and he starts.
So you're not afraid of the extremities here at all.
The poop. Yes, there's lots of poop. And there's that.
That's good. Everybo's a little bit. I think everybody gets squeamish when it comes to the scat.
She also shoves a full-grown turd in somebody's mouth. In another scene, another victim, like she takes a poop piece of actual turd,
their turd,
and shoves it in his mouth.
Shove it right in his mouth.
And that's another victim. So that's 3 times there's fecal matter involved.
I knew that before I cut him up with the chainsaw really bad.
And then she shoves a chainsaw on him. Yeah, it's really bad.
That's gonna be a wild movie.
Well, there's a lot of fecal matter in RedHead 2.
Fecal matter.
What do we say? That's good shit.
That's good shit.
Well, that's a quote. Here's some good shit. Like the guy actually says, "There's some good shit."
He does say
that's good shit. Holy shit! That's actual shit. That's good shit.
Some good shit.
You know, and when is that slated to kind of release or get released or start to hit circuits?
So our goal is to be done by spring. So we'll have a premiere We'll also, and then we'll be hitting the festival circuit at that point. So
Nice.
we're looking probably April, May to be done. And at that point, we'll be hitting festival circuit, but also a local premiere, which should be gigantic. We look forward to a lot of people coming to our premiere.
Vic, we should go to the premiere.
We would love to have
where are you guys at?
I'm in Massachusetts, but I mean, I'll go anywhere for this
We're in
stuff.
West Virginia.
That's not far. That's even travelable in a day by car. Like, that's not bad.
That's not bad. So we so we'll be doing the festival circuit, and when we did the first RedHead, she was doubtful about. She was like, I want to go streaming and just get it out streaming. And I was like, no. Let's put it into the circuit, the festival circuit. Do it the festival circuit. So we got out in the festival circuit, and all of a sudden we started winning awards. We started improving the value of the movie, getting it built up, and all of a sudden we started winning. And she was like, I see why. Like now, like, and then all of a sudden you have these things built on your back. You have these trophies. We have a shelf full of trophies. And we have awards that we've won for the first RedHead. And then all of a sudden you go to release it on streaming, and it's easy because, hey, it's won all these things, and that makes it that much easier. So,
yeah, but I'm waiting for that 4K release. I want the physical media because I'm a physical person.
Well, I mean, we do scope release. It's 2.6K. I mean, it's still 2K.
Where do you find that on Amazon?
So RedHead is Tubi and Amazon. It's on
the B stream.
The B stream.
And
Well, I'm saying for physical media though. If I wanted to buy a Blu-ray, is it?
And Blu-rays,
we have
yeah.
DVD and Blu-ray. Blu-ray
Yeah.
is the Blu-ray is the full scope release. It's
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the show.
So yeah, the Blu-ray release is the full release. So we always shoot everything in 4K.
Yeah.
And then as we're editing, we bring it down to 2K because we are always preparing for theater, and we do.
Theater's nowhere near 4K yet.
Yeah. So in theater is 2K. And we always do the press the EPK or whatever. We get that release figured out for theater releases. It has to be digitally rendered for them. It has to be in scope. It has to be 2K, but also it has to have every audio channel rendered separately.
Yeah,
so that's not easy. I mean, it's not easy.
Takes time.
Once you get it, it becomes easier. But nobody taught me how to do that stuff. I had to figure it out on my own. Like, it's not easy.
And yeah, you didn't go to like a school. You're just like, okay, here's how to do it. You're kind of figuring as you go, and it's like, hey, this isn't working. What am I doing wrong here?
Right.
What am I doing right here? Even mastering your own Blu-ray or DVD, getting the audio channels right, getting your supplementary if you want to commentate audio, if you want just director's cut audio, if you want to change or upscale the audio for surround sound, like
our Blu-ray and DVDs are in 5.1 surround sound. They are in surround sound. They have discrete audio.
And where can you buy those right now?
Just personally, I mean, we have also the soundtrack. We have CDs that are distributed.
Oh yeah, I would have definitely read that if I was.
I'm gonna have to hit you up and get a Venmo or something and send you money for some hard copies because Tubi is cool, but I'm a physical media collector. I like physical things in my hand. When the internet goes out, I still have a CD player too, so I'll probably want one of those too.
So the soundtrack, the CD ended up on these red discs.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's red.
Nice.
Yes. We will definitely be talking about off air about purchasing some stuff.
Yeah, so they sent out the CD release. I think it was Germany that did the red discs. and that took a long time to do. But then all of a sudden they got it done.
They're so beautiful.
Yeah, that's stunning. And like I said, not a lot of people still have CDs, but I still have a CD player at home. I still have a CD player in the car, and I
So
do it for many reasons. Because when the internet goes out, nothing works. None of the streaming services work,
Yeah.
but my Blu-ray player still does.
So I do the soundtrack. I always do music. Well, whatever movie we work on, I do the soundtrack.
I love soundtracks. I'm a big soundtrack person. I like the whole thing of it. Like I said, I'm big into the I'll buy movies that will come with the Blu-ray, the DVD, and then it'll have the soundtrack.
My favorite tracks that you said. If we lose power,
Demons.
you just go in the
My
car and get stoned.
favorite. Oh.
What?
Well, you do what I do if we lose power. We just go in the car and hide and get stoned.
But I mean, I could watch it on my. But once my phone dies, it's like, I like a
When the
good
phone
Blu-ray.
dies,
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about power. I'm talking about internet. Power,
Yeah.
I can't watch my Blu-ray player, but internet, I can. Streaming services lose rights to movies every other week.
Yeah.
Movie world is weird. Certain versions of movies don't exist anymore because they've lost copyrights of songs. There's director's cuts out there. There's 4K edits, there's 2K edits, there's foreign edits. I just bought a Texas Chainsaw Massacre thing that got 8 different versions of the film coming.
Oh, from Dark Sky?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I have the first Dark Sky Blu-ray that they released, and it's wild because John Dugan's grandpa costume. It's interesting because when you first saw him in the first bit, his suit looks black, but then on the rendered the super fantastic version,
it's blue.
It's actually purple and striped.
Is it purplish? I thought blue, purple.
It's wild.
I actually just met him last weekend in Scranton. He was actually there, and they did his whole makeup. It's actually a crazy process to watch them do.
John, we've wanted to work with John for a while. John is a good guy, and I feel like we could message him anytime, do FaceTime, and just talk to him. I think that John would probably pick up just about any time and talk to us.
Oh, you've done that.
I mean, I might be new to the whole horror world or just seen, but so far, every guest I've met, every person I've met, everybody I've encountered and seen at cons and everywhere around, premieres, VideoCon, and everything else, they all just seem real. They seem like they're just real people. Here we are, like us or hate us. Here we are, who we are, and what we are. Take it or leave it.
So, Linnea Quigley is one of Johnna's good friends.
She's amazing. I've met her a few times in Salem. I've seen her, at a couple of cons. She's like one of those people that just no matter what, just says hi.
Yes. So Linnea is she wants to be in RedHead too. Her agent is strict. I will say that. I'll be honest. But Linnea, we want to get Linnea. It's just a matter of getting that deal worked out. Linnea, so Linnea sent Johnna a corset that was privately owned, and so Johnna did a photo shoot in Linnea's corset, and so that's out there. And it's really funny. So a few weeks ago we were at Scarefest, and Johnna wore that corset to the fest and walks up to Linnea, and Linnea's like, "Oh my God, I recognize that anywhere!" And she said, "You're bustier than what?" As Linnea would say, "You're bustier than me, though." Because
me and her are really close friends. We talk a lot, and I love her just so much. She's the sweetest person.
She's one of the people that got not but one of the first cons I went to, she was one of the guests, and she's probably one of I think the first interaction. She was the first line I went into, and I was nervous as shit. I'd never been to a horror convention. Plenty of wrestling, but I've never been horror convention. And these are people that I've grown up as a kid watching on screen.
Right.
So to me, it's really huge.
Yeah.
And she was just so nice and just so kind and just, you know, just like a normal person. I was like,
Makes it
oh,
real.
this is cool. Yeah, nice and real. And that's what I'm saying.
She
Like,
brings it down to here. Like you're up here, like you're expecting this, and she's like, no, hang on. Here we are.
yeah.
Tell them about Bob. You know Bob Elmore, right?
Yeah.
God rest his soul. She'll tell you, but she'll explain Bob Elmore's
It's still hard
experience.
for me to talk about as close as
The Bob
got.
Elmore and RedHead experience.
But it's hard for me to talk about because he's not here no more, and me and him got so close, and it's just really hard to talk for me to talk about.
So Bob Elmore
'Cause
gave
him and I got really close.
So our very first convention as guests was actually in West Virginia, and it was at the Oak Hill Con. And so Bob Elmore was there. He was like the big star, and we were tabled right next to him. And I had seen Bob Elmore before, and Johnna didn't realize that Bob had done every single aspect of Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw 2.
Well, I did know that. That's why he was my favorite.
Well, we had talked about that.
But that's the thing. I just thought he was the whole guy, which he basically was. He was the one that did all the stuff.
How many people? How many people he had to overcome?
Broke his arm. I mean, his wrist over it and everything. But what I didn't realize was that he was going to treat us so good either. And we had our first RedHead poster out, the first concept of it.
We hadn't finished RedHead yet.
With me, with a chainsaw. And so I went over and we gave it to him and told him that I was honored to sit beside of him at a table, that I'd looked up to him all my life since a little girl, and that I think of him whenever I do my chainsaw scenes. And so him and I talked for a while. We got kind of close. Well, we ran into him again the next year.
Mad Monster.
And we had got it all done. And we gave him DVDs and told him, you was there with us around when we was originally like working on this start with.
Here it is. So you didn't think it was going to be done. Here's a new poster, and here's the movie.
I said, here it is. And he said, here it is. And we gave him a poster and signed it. He always gave me something in return, gave us stuff in return.
He said, you don't have to pay for nothing.
He said, I'm going to watch this. And then when I see you again, or I'll message you and let you know what I think, since you've been around with me from the get-go of your films and you, Sam, an inspiration and all this. So we talked for a long time. And then after that, we saw him again, and he saw me and he grabbed a hold of me in front of the guy that runs Chicago, CJ, which is one of our close friends too. And he was very excited that I was strong enough to use a chainsaw with chain on it in the movie, and it impressed him. And him and I talked for a long time, and the time went fast. I'd say it was probably about an hour or something like that.
He pulled her in. He talked to her for about. He blew off all of his guests.
We hugged and he talked to me, and I for somebody that grew up loving him like I did, and he was like an inspiration to me since I was little, and then for that to happen and him being proud of me for what I did in the movie, and I'm very meek about everything. I mean, I'm just sitting there, you know, like, oh my gosh, like, this is amazing. I don't know how to take it. And I loved him so much. And then when later on down the road, because he was so excited to watch the second RedHead, or maybe to even be a part of it or something. And then all of a sudden, when I found out he died, it crushed me. Because right there beside it, we have a RedHead poster. It's the big one that we used at the theater for RedHead 1 premiere. It's hanging up on the wall. And all of the stuff he gave me and signed is hanging up there with his chainsaw beside the poster. And when I found out he died, I cried for I don't know how many days, because, you know, I just got really close to him and I loved him so much.
Well, Bob was pissed off about the SAG relationship. He was like, you know, why be union? I mean, you know, they have this big strike and all this stuff, and it's like he said, why? You know, indie filmmakers pay better. He said, why should I go in for the SAG minimum when I can go and get $1,000 a day? A SAG minimum is $150 a day. Like, well, I mean, why do I care about SAG? And he said, don't get me started on that stuff.
Yeah, he said he got paid a lot, and that he said in the 80s people got paid a lot more to work in the film world than what they get now.
Well, they got paid. They got paid for what they were worth.
Yeah. And he said the SAG stuff now, it's just like they're underpaid and all this, and I said I understand that.
Bob was such a good
he was
guy
a great person
to hang out with.
It still bothers me. I can't help it.
No, those are the memories. Those are the things that along the way. But it's like that also that full circle moment. Here's somebody you grew up idolizing on a screen. And then in return, you become the person on the screen, and you're showing your idols, and they're intrigued, and they're sitting and taking the time to speak with you. Like you said, you're blowing off fans. You're not even just blowing off fans. You're throwing away money at that point because each fan's paying you to see them, and you at that point it doesn't even matter. You're spending time with a friend, but that's that's a beautiful story. But it goes to show you that these people are just humans, regardless of how big they are on screen or what they are. They're humans at the end of the day with emotions, feelings, friends, cares, worries, everything.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Like
I think people forget that though. We dehumanize the celebrities in a way that we think they're just they're there for entertainment only or whatever, and it's no. Like they have a whole life when that movie's over, and that movie's only a very short part of their life.
As fans, you try to collect them by getting their signature. Like you're trying to collect them, like there's some kind of specimen, and it's like, nah, it's a person. I mean, like I think you're if you have aspirations, you're gonna succeed more if you walk up to somebody and just talk instead of trying to say, hey, can you scribble on my thing that I've got? Like, I mean, I think you're gonna live a better life if you walk up to people and say, I want to talk to you.
Oh, you will. I mean, I've been to cons where, I'll be honest, most of the people that I go after, I go after movies or actors and actresses that meant something to me. Either it's a film that I liked or it's a person that I liked in a film. And I always do. I started off by talking, but then there's also people that I made by the end of it, especially I run out of money and I have no more money to spend. But I will still go to these booths and I will be sitting there and I will still ask them questions and talk to them. And they love that. They love interaction. It's not all about just getting your dollar out of your hands and into theirs. They enjoy actually talking about the movies they were in or helped make or whatever they did in their role in it.
Yeah.
And they love telling you stories about it. They love sharing things about it. Because you got to remember, a lot of these, we're proud of our accomplishments, and as a species, we're proud of it. But movies are an accomplishment. We finish something. Whether it's good or bad or whatever you might say, bad or good. The movie's got completed from the beginning sequence to the credits. That's a bigger step than a lot of people can do. Most people don't get it out of their mind. The rest people don't get it off the paper. Then some people get it halfway filmed. But to get the whole thing done and edited, that's an accomplishment by itself. So you kind of want to show that to everybody. And now you've got some of these guys where their movies, started off very small and they've blown up to the point between, VHS releases and re-releases. They're mega stars now because these movies are cult classics. And they never thought that was going to happen in the 70s and 80s when they were filming this.
Yes.
So we have we've done a couple other movies together before the RedHead stuff. Reunion from Hell 1 and 2. And we got to work with some Nightmare on Elm Street stars on the second Reunion from Hell. Danny Hassel, Lisa Wilcox, and Mark Patton.
Very nice.
Mark Patton, so I built that guy up from the time I was little. That was actually the first Nightmare that I watched all the way through as a kid. And whatever Mark was going through, I guess I was going through a similar thing. Although I wasn't gay, I wasn't going through that struggle that he was going through, that animosity that he had. I had abuse and childhood trauma going on, and I always wanted to work. I always wanted to just meet Mark Patton, and then the first time I met Mark Patton was directing it, and that was really fucking cool. And she so we had a moment on set where the water ran out we were doing a hot tub scene, and somebody was being drowned in a hot tub, and the water ran out of the well because we were in a cabin in Tennessee. And so we had to wait on people to come and refill that water. And it was because she sat next to Mark Patton and ended up like just falling asleep on him. Woke up, hang, woke up hanging out, and he was just like, "I'm cool with this." He let her sleep on him as long as possible. Um, what a gentleman, and I feel so sad that he's not really able to do the circuit right now because he's so
Yeah, he was sick, right? I just
he's
saw that he
so
had to
great.
pull out of something, and
Well, just
me too. That was actually. It's funny you say that. That was actually the first Nightmare I actually watched. Two was two. I actually had to go back and watch one. Um, but something about a final guy or a final boy, it it hit differently for me that it made the movie almost scary that I could resonate with it because I was like, well, shit, I'm a guy too. No
Am I the
longer is
only
it
old?
some.
well, you can relate to.
I'm sorry. Am I the only old fucker here? Because everyone talks about Halloween 2 and Nightmare on Elm Street 2. I remember these movies that got me scared was like Night of the Living Dead.
Those aren't even scary.
I said, but when you're a kid,
Maybe.
Fright Night. Those are the movies that made me start. But it's like,
Okay,
Well,
okay.
that's so everyone's Halloween 2, which is actually, and I got Fright Night.
Fright Night's a great flick.
I feel like a boomer though.
I know you're on the edge, but
Thanks, I'm on the edge. Thanks.
you still play Roblox and Fortnite. You're definitely on the good edge.
So, but also, it's really cool now that we can walk up to Danny Hassel and Lisa Wilcox from Nightmare 4 and 5. We can walk up to them and just chat. It's at that point now to where, because we directed them as well.
I'll tell you a funny story about just in general. It made me think because you mentioned these names from Nightmare, and most of the time I try to go in, like you said, I try not to act starstruck because I don't feel like they would want to be acting starstruck. I think they would just want a normal communication. Plus, you're in a public setting. There's a lot of people behind you. It's busy. But when
Yes.
I met Heather Langenkamp in September, and I got totally just dumbfounded, starstruck. I'm just like,
Wanted to meet her real bad. She was present at Scarefest recently, and we didn't get the time.
I was just like I said, I just got I didn't know what to say. Like I just got, and it was just a weird moment because like a week before I met, well, what would be her son, but Mike Skyros. And we were talking about Final Nightmare, and I was telling him I'm going to be meeting her, and he was like, "Oh, she's great and cool," and da 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 da. And he was telling some stories about when they were on set because obviously he was much younger at that point. He was just a kid. And then I meet her like a week later, and I was just like, I couldn't even say a word. I was like, "Oh, I love the first movie. Please sign. It's great."
Would you please sign this? Like, yeah. I go back to that with Tom Savini. Like like I said, Tom Savini, he's the reason I made my first film. But I looked up to him so much, and I wanted so much to just walk up to him and just like shit at all my fanboy craze to him. But I realized, people had talked about, how he was, and that, if you want to talk to Tom, like talk to him like a real person. So I walked up and I told him I was a filmmaker. I wanted to be a filmmaker, and he said, "Don't matter what camera you got."
Yeah, you already told him that.
Yeah, I know. So it goes back to like just treat people like people. Like, I mean, they're people.
Well, hey, I mean, a filmmaker doesn't. There's nowhere in the definition of filmmaker does it say what certain film do you need to use. As long as it can shoot a video, you're a filmmaker. If you make a film,
Yeah. Well, it doesn't really matter how great it looks as long as it sounds good.
well, I heard that the sound is the most important part of the film. If you don't get like good sound involvement, or you fuck around with the sound, then the whole movie's just garbage. You can reshoot shit, but you cannot redo sound. Like, it's very difficult.
Right. Well, you can redo the sound. It hurts. It's tough.
They said just put your money into two things: the sound. Well, one being the first thing, the sound. Make sure your sound is always
And the
on and right.
effects.
And then the second was the practical effects. Everything else can be worked around, they said. But I heard sound is a big portion of it because of I mean, obviously you want to be heard. And it determines a movie soundtrack. You said you do the soundtracking. I'm guessing you do all of the sound effects and everything in the whole movie.
Yeah, I mean, so when we work on stuff, when she's not acting, when we work on stuff and she's not acting, if we do other films, she's done a lot of boom operation, so she understands vehemently how important audio is to the end product, because if you don't have that clean audio, like if you're boom operating and you have this up here and you're wrinkling your wrists and like making the the pole like sound funny or whatever,
You can't do that.
No.
You can't make any noise. And it's like, it's funny because whenever I did do a lot of boom work for a couple other features that we did with him, I would hear something in there that was not going to sound good. And I'd be like, okay, stop. And there would either be a plane going by or there would be some kind of loud something. And they'd be like,
a motorcycle.
And they didn't understand.
They get pissy. But
they got pissy. But the thing is, they didn't understand that it had to be stopped at that point because it wasn't going to sound right.
It's a waste
and
of take.
I'm not going to go and let that be a final thing there. And then finally they realized what we was doing and then realized you can't have. So it was funny, one of the places that we shot in, not in RedHead, but when we was doing the Reunion from Hell, there was
Louisville, the UPS airport that recently had that crash. UPS airport was constantly taking off.
Yeah, so when I wasn't in that movie, I was doing the boom mic in that one also.
You were in the.
I said when I wasn't in it.
Yeah,
so when I wasn't doing scenes where I was in those scenes, I was doing the boom work.
Yeah.
We was doing some of the scenes out where there was near to that airport, and every time I turned around, there was an airplane going by. And
10 minutes.
I'd say, okay, we got to stop, and they'd be like, oh, and they'd be like, it was hilarious.
Yes.
But then it had to be stopped until the plane went by, and then we could get it finished.
And that's why they say quiet on the set, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, ambient noises, unless you're in a soundproof location, are always going to be an issue, I think.
Yeah.
With
anything outdoors is anything outdoor.
I had to make sure though that it was something that you couldn't hear very good, that I couldn't hear, with the headphones on very good, so it would mess up somebody's dialogue. That's what I always listen for, making sure it didn't mess up their dialogue and stuff.
The worst was when a chopper came over and it took forever to go away. The helicopter is like, man, it's like it was hovering. It's like, go away. It was like 10 minutes. Go.
Did you have like a big set going on, like a big production team, or was it just?
So we had our production team was me and Johnna.
Mm-hmm.
I was cinematographer, and she was handling audio.
And I was in the movie.
And she was in the movie, and
he was also the editor, the one that made the music. He did everything.
So I was cinematographer, so I handled all the lighting and the film and everything else. The smaller the team, the better the pay, right?
Yes.
But we used to be a small team together with our work.
We put every bit of money that we made on that film. The film, we were buying lunches, we were buying dinners, we were making sure that everybody was.
That's
cool.
why we was producers. But it's like me and him, we're so used to doing, as teamwork so much, doing all the work together as a team and stuff, because we love it so much. We love it. It's like a passion for me and him to do this together. So
you guys mentioned, I don't know why this hit me randomly. You guys mentioned the kill about the sawzall on the dick, right?
Yeah.
A funny story funny story. So first time we tried to shoot that, we shot that scene twice. So we took the sawzall and I took the blade and I had carved it out in cardboard, and I made the little notch and everything. And the cardboard blade actually, once painted black, actually fit into the sawzall, and it worked. So we had a cardboard blade.
We showed the real blade coming to him at first, and then we switched it over and put the cardboard blade in as I was hitting it.
because I said, I want you to jam this in my dick for real. I want to see the impact. Boy, that was a mistake, because the cardboard did not bend. It didn't go anywhere. All it did was fucking hurt. So,
but I was very gentle about it. I didn't really push like you wanted me to.
There's nothing gentle when you like it's oscillating.
I was still pretty easy. You just still felt the effects.
Oh man! So here comes the sawzall, and it's running, and even though it's coming slow, as soon as it hits my Jimmy, my nuts just get fucking obliterated by the oscillating action of the cardboard stiffy. Like, just like, oh my god, I thought it would collapse. I thought as soon as it hit something, it would just bend.
You know, paper cuts are worse than diamond blades, right?
Oh my god! I mean, so three times I got hit in the Jimmy with that, and I eventually just told her, I said, just punch it in there, like just jam it, because it couldn't hurt worse. Eventually we got it, and then turns out we ended up using a shot where she didn't even make contact at all, where the shot was behind her, because we shot later. We redid the scene, but man, don't ever put a oscillating saw blade in your crotch. It hurts.
I'm not gonna be you in that scene. I don't think. I think that sounds a little painful. But you asked me that question. Let me ask you a question. What was your favorite kill to do? What was your favorite kill scene to perform on camera?
What's your favorite kill?
My favorite kill was the chainsaw scene.
You do like that one?
Yeah, I liked it because
the cop.
Yeah, the detective that I killed. That's my favorite, because that day, even though we worked like really super hard, like all day and all night to do this and to get it perfect, because we filmed a lot of other scenes that day too in the midst of that one, in the same building, and I just had a good time with that one. Like, it was challenging. It was really challenging because of what we talked about with the chainsaw, and how I had to run it over top of him and all that, and it was just, I don't know, it was just a great positive day for us. And then I always enjoy getting tons of blood in my eyes, face, and mouth. I really just love it. And so that was probably my favorite one. And I love acting crazy whenever, when I'm acting and pretending in my head that, I've got to look at this victim as I'm killing them, because I want to see them die. So I enjoy being crazy as I'm trying to portray that. I don't know. It's just fun. I don't know. That's a great scene. I like all that. And we kind of do a lot of that in RedHead too. And I like that too.
I think my favorite one is actually the bar scene, where the dude gets stabbed in the Jimmy. And when she pulls the knife out, his balls fall out. And then she grabs him and rips him off, and then she shoves him in his mouth. I think that's probably my favorite. That, or the shotgun to the face.
But like I said, like all those kill scenes
stuck on the faces from different movies. I mean, feeding someone their own testicles. That's something unique. That's something,
But all those kill scenes are all empowering. You're taking your power back.
Yes.
Yes.
And I wanted RedHead. Whenever you watch her in the beginning, she's so weak and she's going through a lot of trauma, and then I wanted her to evolve, and you see her change in each scene.
And then she scalps a bitch.
Well, I want you to see her change throughout the whole movie, and I mean, seriously,
yeah.
I want you to see her change and evolve into being not just a crazy person, but somebody that's being demon possessed at the same time, and you see her phase by phase change. And I even gave her that quirk,
Devolve.
to where you would see she was really off her chain nuts, where she'd go, ha, and do that crazy like twerk thing that she did. I
Yeah.
want to give her that too. To give her that thing where you knew she was like really pissed and aggravated and she's out of her head, out of her skull.
Oh yeah, the character work in that movie was amazing. I mean, what you were able to portray on camera, cinematically, and just like I said, character wise, very strong character. That just you have to love. I mean, what's there not to love about a crazed female victim that comes back and just demolishes?
How do we know you didn't actually kill these victims? And he's like, oh, it's a movie. Look at this. It's a movie. And then you go bury him in the deep woods in West Virginia.
Until they bring him, look. They brought DiGiorgio into court. He showed them that he didn't kill anybody on camera. Until they bring him to court and they prove not. Otherwise, you've seen these people get filmed. She's still in the film, right? She's still here.
Yeah, but still, yes.
Okay.
Like all great.
But he's right there, is what I'm
hey,
saying. It was him that he was jamming the saw into the nuts. So, I mean,
that's
he's
the
right
twist
there.
though.
He still has his nuts.
That's the twist of it all. It's just like, well, of course they're going to survive.
Until you look down and he has no legs or nothing, and you're like, shit.
All great serial killers. You think you look down at first, like, oh, I figured you out. No, you don't figure them out. That's what makes them so great.
It's not my job to figure them out. I don't want to figure them out. If they're cool people, I'm going to treat them like cool people. That's it.
Oh yeah,
That's how people stayed alive.
I never said. I look at my last name. I never said there was anything wrong with it.
Half of those serial killers were all pinnacles in their like communities. Everybody loved them.
Like, let me ask you the age-old question: agree or disagree? Jason Voorhees and Leatherface were all misunderstood because if anyone goes on your own property and you feel threatened, what do? You can kill them. Yes. So it's like the victims are actually the criminals, and Leatherface and Jason were defending their own land.
Well, I think in that remake in 2003, they really brought that instance home because they had the grandpa, even though he wasn't no Duggan, he was pretty much screaming, intruders, intruders, kill them. Get the intruders.
Even with the original Texas Chainsaw, you look at Leatherface, and he kills like 2 people before like they keep coming at him. And he's like, oh, he starts hitting his head. And he's like, what the hell? Like, because he's got a developmental disability. Like, I mean, he literally is like I mean, he's doing this thing here, and he's kind of like, what the hell? This is my property. Why are people coming at it? Like, I mean, people are coming in, and I'm having to like, but the fact that he picks her up and he puts her on a meat hook and then
on his own land.
So he goes a little too far, but I mean, at the same time, I mean, as a sober person, as a good person, we would probably do the same thing.
But the thing is they're in Texas, so the laws in Texas are a little bit different. Someone breaks in your home, I think you can put them on a meat hook.
It goes with the law. Find out.
I care about laws.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, either in modern society you get their head blown off, at least this way it was more cinematically done. They just didn't own any guns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Leatherface was just literally looking out for home. But TCM2 is another story altogether.
Ooh, see, I just met both of them, and I asked the hitchhiker one question: would you have killed them if they paid for the photo? And he said probably not. He probably would have let them go if they just bought the damn photo.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And
then
I asked Chop, what his issue was, and honestly, he was really screwed up. I mean, between coming back from serving his country to finding his dead brother, to finding people raiding his house, he had no place to go. He was totally in PTSD mode. And then he gets thrown on the air. He was in a fit of rage.
Dog will hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Dog will hunt.
That's it.
Yeah.
But the father there, or the father figure, I don't even know if he was considered the father. He's more
Older
just considered the chef. Yeah, older brother. He made one hell of a chili.
Uh-huh.
Drayton Sawyer.
I even out of like all the renditions, and 2003 did a great job remaking it. Don't get me wrong, I really think they did. Out of all the remakes, they did good. But something about Drayton's story, just the character, the way he acted in that, and where he wasn't necessarily a scary looking guy. He looked very goofy most of the part, but he was a sick, sadistic killer, and and just with that crazy laugh and everything, he just brought that character home for me.
Yes.
Well, yeah, he was all about like, where we got to pay those taxes and all that stuff. You know, he was very much pissed off about the man taking his money. He was very pissed off about his situation, and it was very clear at that.
But it was also during a time of civil unrest. You had, 69, 70 people were, hippieing out, and everybody was protesting, and people were just fighting every which way, and civil rights started act up, and people were able to kind of express themselves a little bit more.
Guys, sounds like 2025.
Yeah, I mean,
No, it wasn't though. It was even better. It was 1969, and the drugs were better.
with the first, with the first Texas Chainsaw, you had, it was 74, so like Vietnam was just ending, so they had just come off of turmoil and all the strife and political unrest, and it was an interesting environment to make a film like that because they could kind of do what they wanted, because I feel like the government just wasn't paying attention because it was so exhausted.
Well, yeah, they weren't going after slasher films or had the manpower to sit there and watch the rating board of what's getting passed.
Yeah, but at the same time, the first Texas Chainsaw did get banned in a whole lot of countries.
Well, it did, and a lot of people also thought it was a real movie for most of their life.
And they also talk about how gory it is, but there's not really any gore at all. And
there isn't. There is not that much gore in it at all.
Mind fuck, and it's a great thing. And we went the opposite direction. I mean, we wanted to show people what they were missing out on.
Well, I think that's the direction now. I mean, everyone's just like, well, fuck it. Let's just see the full max of it. You see movies like Terrifier, and you see these movies where people just get ripped open, ripped apart, blood squirting. The whole house is just filled with blood. Let's bring it to the max.
Well, our goal with RedHead 2 is to push every envelope that we
well,
can.
like you said, you already pushed the shit envelope going every which way, which doesn't get done often in horror movies.
Lots of poop.
The only thing I've ever seen about poop, I think, is in one of those shorts from ABC's The Death, where like the poop comes back and kills the lady. There's not much about it. So already I'm pretty intrigued by that because, like I said, you're jumping into newer territory.
Well, it addresses suicide. I mean, so at the very beginning of RedHead 2, she kills herself because she figures out that, so it picks up where RedHead 1 ends. So I get my junk sawed out, and she's just sitting there glorifying in it. So RedHead 2 picks up right where that ends. And then we see her sitting with her dead pug on her lap, bawling her eyes out, upset because that was the first joy she had for a long time since her husband died. And she has a gun, and she blows her brains out and goes to hell. So that sets the tone for part 2. And then so automatically she blew her brains out and went to hell. So obviously when she comes back, she's going to have some sort of extra power, right? So kind of a Jason.
Also become kind of like a demon hybrid type.
Now you've kind of transitioning from like that, human aspect, and now you're a little bit more of a supernatural being.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got more strength.
So she can do more.
I'm able to like get inside people and rip things out and be more wild and crazier. And
we have a pig's heart in our fridge right now.
But now you can take away all those human barricades and just really just go to town.
Yeah.
And I think, and with that being said, you can do gross and crazy things like all that was described earlier.
Yes.
But because now you're no longer a human, so it's not really, it's not bothersome. What it bothers really the human mind, the demon mind, that's just laughable.
Yeah.
But like I said, I just think the whole premise of it and just seeing where that story was gonna go and went,
So
it's wild. Did you have this envisioned all in one long story and then broke it up, or have you just kind of did the
yeah,
first one and was like, you know what, we need a sequel?
Well, people was wanting us to do a sequel. We
they
wasn't
want us
for
to do
sure.
3. I mean,
They was wanting us to do a 2, and then they also was like, we'd like to see a third one too, because when we said, well, we wasn't thinking about a 2, but then we kind of thought about it too, but we wasn't for sure till people said they wanted it. And so we had already kind of we had to figure out, because Puckles wasn't going to be in it, and since she was in the first one, we had to figure out, okay, she can't be in it, she's gone, so what do we have to do? And then the first thing came up, we both can think of the same thing, it's so funny, and we both were like, okay. And then we figured out that she, that I find her and she's dead, and then I'm like, how about that we do this to where, I end up and I'm dead, and then all these past people that I ended up killing are there in hell in a whore's house, like a hell's whore house, and I've got whores running around and like skimpy stuff and crazy stuff's going on. You got different rooms with them, like with the people being held back, and I run into them and all this and that. And so then we have all these characters me and him created together that I run into in hell that are crazy, and I have to kill my way out of hell basically several different times. I run into different demons. Then they kind of make me become part demon along the ride, because
You're literally that bad out of hell. That's great.
Yeah, so I have to kill my way out of hell, and it's really nuts. I'm very excited about what we've already done with it, and all the work we've already put into the second one. And it just keeps getting bigger and better. I think the more we keep wanting, because we've wrote everything, but then as we write it, we enhance it and decide to add more crazier stuff each time.
Well, in about a week and a half, we got her dad coming into the movie. We have so in Hell's Whorehouse, while she's in hell, her dad is actually going to be playing like a mall Santa,
an undead mall,
like a perverted mall Santa that's gone to hell because he raped little kids or whatever, little people or whatever.
Oh, that's great.
So we've been building the set to get him involved, and we have a dirty elf that's involved in that, and like some hot chick or whatever.
We got some hot chicks, and they're going to be in the Hell's Whorehouse, because that's where his territory is too, is in the whorehouse.
So we've been building that set.
We got that set,
So actually today we just finished Santa's throne. So that's kind of cool.
So you have fun doing it too, putting everything together, seeing your creative ideas be put into real life world objects and be made and sitting in front of you as a set.
Probably drink too much beer doing it, but I mean,
it was very sentimental to me the other night when we kind of finished everything, but then the throne got done a lot today. But the other night when we was in there, I looked at everything and I could see, where the throne was going to be at whenever it got finished, and I saw where he was going to sit, and I just cried a lot, because I knew that he was going to be really good. He's going to be a really good undead mall Santa.
Well, he's a Navy vet.
Yeah, he's a Navy vet, and I think he's going to be really good in what he does. He's already got ideas about what he wants to do too, and we've been interacting, all three of us together, about it. And he's got some real nasty, terrible things that he wants to say, and we're all about it. And he's going to be a fun character. I think people really love.
I hate to say it, but that's what's fun about horror. It's like, it's where you can embrace the most vileness and evilness and all these like negative thoughts and ideas. You can actually just like throw it out there and embrace it and be done with it. Like almost like just absolving yourself from it. But it's getting out there. But it works because you play these awful characters. You play these, rapists and killers and all these people with, no morals whatsoever, no souls. And they're all part of they're all in a movie. They all exist, so it works. But it's also like in some ways, like I said, you get rid of all that negativity when you do these acts and when you act in these, roles.
So acting,
Yes.
we have figured out a long time ago that acting in horror is our therapy because we get out all the bullshit,
Yes.
like you're saying. I mean, we get to vent, we
Yes.
get to vent and let go of the steam. There it goes. I mean, we do some horrible shit in movies, and but that's the thing. Like in the horror movies, you can do whatever you want, right?
Yes.
You can
And
do
it's
anything you
kind
want
of
to do.
escape for you, and you can become somebody else, and it's just an escape. And
You could become the worst version of yourself if you wish, but
Yeah,
it's a
vintage.
cinematic movie. You create a character. It's
Also,
not
in real
real.
life, was someone going to say like, "Oh, we have to have morals. I can't do this and this, do this with you." No, they're going to fucking shit on you if they want to shit on you. It's like, no, movies are
If,
different.
if you want to take a dump in the middle of the floor in a horror film, you can. I mean,
Yes.
that's the thing.
But people these days are like, like very like, "Oh, you can't do it. No morals, or they're too grossed out." It's reality. This is it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It is reality. I
Yes.
mean, so that is you're absolutely 100% because you get to vent the real
Yeah.
you when you're filming. You get to vent it and dump it off. And but the important part is that you film it, you vent it, you get it done, and you leave it there in film, and you don't bring it with you because
Exactly.
You do everything legal.
Exactly.
You don't go downtown Harlem on a Thursday night.
Well,
yeah,
no, it's like it's like you're in a bad mood. You had a rough day at work, right? You go home, you play Grand Theft Auto, you run over a bunch of people, you shoot up the cops, you play all this shit, and then you turn the system off, and you're fucking fine. You're good. It's the same thing with the horror. You go and you're acting, you're slaughtering people, you're freaking hacksaw maniac, and then you go to bed at night because you're it's all gone. It's all pent energy is done.
Mm-hmm.
yep.
Like going
Problem.
to the gym too. Some people like hit the heavy bag or do whatever they do.
Oh
Same
yeah.
thing. You do these outlets. That's your outlet. The horror is your outlet, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a
No,
creative outlet.
I did this.
Same way as painting and art. I mean, how many people paint? You know, scary or horror images,
We
dead
love
things.
to paint. Like
Mm-hmm.
we do that as far as trying to get out some of the stuff for the movie. Like we do acrylic paintings on the. We love to paint that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Anything that you're using your hands and mind can join, you can get rid of almost all the negativity in your world.
And
I, I think
reality is,
though the trick is doing it and leaving it where it needs to be. It's hard to leave it because once you get to that point, it's tough to forget because you're like, man, that felt fucking good.
yeah.
How do I turn it off? I need to go over here and be a normal person again.
It's also a drug.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
A
in a
drug.
sense you probably get a little bit of, especially
Addiction.
the first time or so. It's kind of like, damn, there's a rush involved. There's a rush with any of it, a dopamine rush. I
And you
even
need
get
more of
that
it.
way
You
going to
need more.
cons. I'll go to a con and be like up here on energy, and then like the day after when I get home, I just crash and bottom out, and I'm over here, and I'm just like I don't even want to move, talk to
Yeah,
anybody.
you cut up some with a chainsaw on the screen, and then like in real life you can't. You're not allowed.
Yeah, but in
No, definitely not.
reality is, we're all sick fucks. That's what reality is.
Yes.
It depends how you like express, because I mean, my drug was obstacle course racing. Did Tough Mudders, Spartans, and I just remember the pain I would be in, but I would be smiling the whole time. Just kind of like like this is.
Yeah, but that's a healthy outlet. You can't just non-cinematically take a chainsaw to someone's nutsack every night because to ease your tension of the day. It's not going to happen, Vic, unless you're signing up for it. If you're signing up and volunteering and you got an everlasting nutsack,
Come on.
then I mean we can make it happen. I'm sure.
I go to bed with her, so I mean, I volunteer every night to be victim, and it doesn't happen. So I'm thankful.
Well, I
Yes.
mean, at least there was no set incidents or accidents like that happened.
It could happen.
Where-
It could happen, but it doesn't. And I'm
It could have. Well, anything can happen on set. That's why I say, like, even things you don't think of can happen. Anything
Curse
can
them.
happen anywhere.
Don't curse them. Come on.
I never would. I don't think they're cursed people. I don't think they're even curseable. They're not even curseable people. Put it that way.
So
But let me ask you something. Was there anything like that, like, while filming the first one, was there any moment that you just like stopped and were in awe of what you've done or what you've created while doing it? Like, just
Got
like,
excited.
damn.
So when we blew Frankie's head off, the shotgun moment, when I was in awe, first of all, that she had 2 weeks prior been on death's bed, and then came and put on a skimpy outfit and then pulled up a heavy ass shot. This is a custom shotgun. It's very heavy. And she lifted it up and did what she needed to do. And I got her to do not the lean back thing, got the bend out of the back, got her to lean forward, do straight, and then poof, pop this guy's fucking face and his head off. The effects that we did on that were so simple, but also so effective. And when I saw them in the camera, that was the moment I knew we had something golden. I was like, wow,
Did the gun fire real bullets?
It was a blank.
Blank.
Yeah, blanks.
Sure that he was out of the way when I shot it.
So it's a real shotgun, but we took the shotgun shell, cut the tip off, emptied out all the pellets, and then pulled out the I guess it's the wad. We pulled out the wad, and we just literally left the primer in there. No
Just
power.
enough to make noise.
It made a spark out of the end of the shotgun. Made a little, and so obviously, what we did with that is we used fishing line. I'd planned ahead of time. I used fishing line and silicone to make a little fleshy brain matter bit, and I wrapped that around the fishing line. And then I had taken a head and I made gelatin skin over top of that, and I made a little flap that would come off. So when it came to him, I took him and made his face piece on him with gelatin, and then on the back of his head, I made a big old rounded out hollow piece on the back of his head. Then I put the piece of flesh that I had built out with gelatin, and it was a flap. And then I took that piece of brain matter with the fishing line, and when it came time, it was action. And at action, we had her in the foreground, or in the background actually, going like this, just moving the shotgun back, and I would pull the fishing line and rip that outer skin piece off and the brain matter out, and it just popped off. And it was a matter of editing. It was literally like a page from George Romero, Dawn of the Dead. That's what Tom Savini did, and what a wonderful translation to camera that was. It was crazy. Minimal blood. There was blood in the end, like when you show them on the ground, but holy shit, so we show her from the side.
Sometimes, not always, these splatters have to be this big explosion of blood. You can get just a pop off, and then, like you said, afterwards when they're draining out, then you can have more of a pool of blood or whatever.
But also leading up to that, she goes on this rant. She goes on this violent rant, and is because this guy had kidnapped her and this guy was essentially the reason she was in the situation she was in. He was a kidnapper and a horrible person, and her venting to him and her absolute display of accountability. She was holding him accountable, and she was giving him everything that she was telling him everything he had done to her. Her display of that was absolutely powerful. The gunshot, the shotgun blast to the guy's head would not have worked at all without her having the power she had to vent and to do the delivery she did. I mean, she made that scene work. And also, I will say, just because she had just come back from having her guts blown out, that absolute power. I couldn't admire my wife anymore. What a fucking crazy night that was. A lot of Miller Lite and guts.
It's just a wild story. I mean, but through everything, like I said, you still got the movie done out there. And not only did it get out there, it actually, it's caught on. It's been, doing well. It's what I would say a success. You've won plenty of awards. It's on, Tubi. It's on a platform. A sequel is, being done. It's like that doesn't always just happen. Sometimes things come out, they flop. Sometimes you put things out, they're okay. Sometimes you put things out, you hate them.
Yeah.
This stuck, but it also has a lot of I would say real blood, sweat, and tears going through this story, getting it out there within
That's
the
right,
3 years.
That's right. West Virginia can go suck it. That's right. You can go fuck off.
That's the thing, took 3 years, but with everything through it, they still put it out there, and I think that determination again is what makes things better than others.
The first football team sucks this year. I don't know why there's open seat.
Who?
West Virginia.
I don't know anything about it.
It's trying to call it because the college football team sucks this year. I mean, it's busy.
I don't watch college football.
You're not missing much these days.
I don't got time to watch college football. I only got time for horror movies, cons, and then the podcast. That's it nowadays. 99% of it is horror movies. Honestly, I watch them 24/7.
Yes, we tried to do a Halloween October challenge. I guess if we can watch 31 straight days of Halloween movies, like horror movies. After 24, I kind of faded away. He did all 31, but 24.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, I fall asleep to them, and it's not because they're boring or they're slow or they're whatever. It's to me, most of the time, they're honestly comforting.
Comfort,
yeah. And I'll fall asleep to them, and all of a sudden, somebody will scream in the film. I won't wake up, but my wife will wake up screaming, and that will wake me up. Actually happened last night. I was watching something, and I fell asleep, and obviously at some point somebody gets killed or slaughtered. She's screaming. My wife opens up her eyes screaming. She's in my face like this. I wake up going, what the hell, screaming? But normally I would sleep right through that. I would just, like I said, I find these kind of movies comforting, not because I find it whatever. It's just that's my comfort zone. It gives me the least anxiety to watch horror movies. I know some people get tense and nerved up. For me, it eases that because it's cinematic and it's not real life. There's real life things out there to me that are scarier than what can be shown on screen.
Yeah.
And the feelings that I get, off screen or from other things are definitely not the same scary feelings that I'm getting from watching the horror movie. So I don't translate the two as the same.
Yes.
And like I said, it becomes something more fun. And plus, sometimes I watch movies just for multiple reasons. I watch it for the story. Sometimes I watch it again for the effects. Sometimes I watch it again because I just want to watch it again. There's movies I've watched dozens of times just to keep seeing new stuff. Other movies, like I said, you see new edits. I'm a physical media person, so I end up buying new editions of films every time they come out, and they might have a 10-second edition of it, and I end up watching the extra 10 seconds, and I gotta watch a new audio track remastered. But I watch a lot of horror.
I also look at it as if you have it on the background, that's the test. So if you're doing something and the movie gets your attention, and you're like, that's cool, that it's doing its job. But if it's just you're just doing your thing, movie's over.
Well, it depends on the horror movie. There's some horror movies like a slasher film that I could have on the background 24/7, which doesn't need a lot of attention. But then there's other psychological films I won't get unless I'm sitting there dead set watching it. And then there's movies in between those two.
Well, so that was the thing. We were wondering, do we fit in? Does RedHead fit in a slasher? Does it fit in?
Well, we've got the demon though in it, so it's a little bit different than a slasher.
There's a demon. There's actual dialogue. I mean, it's not just a normal exploitation film. I mean, a lot of people put it in the category of exploitation, but
it's part exploitation, I would say. Yeah. It's part definitely revenge. It's up there, like I said, with Spit on Your Grave, where you have these scenes of a female coming back, mutilating her aggressors. But then you've got the demonic force where now you've gone a little supernatural. It's definitely not your traditional slasher because the person that's doing the killing isn't necessarily the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's why I would say more revenge film, more revenge, a little bit of revenge exploitation, and then
Yeah.
you got your supernatural factors now in it too.
Yeah, I agree with you.
It's tough to categorize. I mean, when
It is.
when we were putting it out there, we were like, "Oh, we've been putting it out as a revenge slasher, female revenge slasher." I mean, I don't know how else to categorize it. Um, female
Yeah,
revenge.
pretty much. And that's kind of like, it's a hard genre in a way because there's only been a few films out there that have done it, and they've all been kind of pretty well known, successful.
So, did you guys notice that in RedHead 2, the Goblin Head from Maximum Overdrive is in the movie?
Have not.
Okay, so the Goblin Head, the front of the truck from Maximum Overdrive, is
Yep.
actually in RedHead 2.
Really?
Yeah. So at the end of Maximum Overdrive, that thing got blown up, and we know Tim Shockey, and Tim Shockey was able to obtain that blown up goblin head, and he fully remastered it. He fully restored it. And we're good friends with Tim Shockey, and he's actually in the movie, and he brought the goblin head that he takes to conventions and everything else people take pictures with. He let us put it in the movie. So that's really cool.
It's in the
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's in the music video. Which brings me to my next question. Have you guys seen the music video for RedHead 2?
I seen part of it today when you guys posted. I believe you posted it with the link.
Yeah, you should watch the whole thing. It's got the goblin head in it and everything else.
Yeah, I was waiting to watch it on the TV. I hate watching these things on my phone. I feel like it does
There's
no
a lot of boobies.
justice.
There's a lot of her boobies are just everywhere. Boobies. You gotta have boobies going though.
That's what sells. Boobies sell. They've been selling in horror since the day of time. I mean, you mentioned, earlier like Linnea Quigley and stuff. It's like she was one of the first people I've seen on camera naked in Return of the Living Dead.
I mean, that's my motto is the first. Well, actually, not my motto. I first.
Your first crush was Judy Garland over there.
I know. Fucking, you're right.
Poor Judy.
Right.
Poor Judy.
No, I know.
Well, we appreciate you guys having us on so much.
Yeah,
I do. I thank you for coming on. I do look forward to watching too, and I will be in touch. I would like to purchase physical media. I do like to watch things physically, so I will reach out for that. I will just ask one more question before we end this. Where can people I'm taking you do social media, people can find you. Do you have like a website where people can find the film? I know it's on Tubi, but do you guys have your own social that people can follow?
So on social, we pretty much just we have found that basically the best way for us, media wise, is to go by our names. And for her, it's Johnna Hodge, and for me, it's Sam Hodge on Facebook. And through that, if you want to get media, whatever, message one of us. Let us know. We do PayPal, Venmo. Do Cash App, things like that for the DVDs and Blu-rays. Also, we do have an Indiegogo, which we are bringing Sandy Johnson from the original Halloween into RedHead 2. Michael Myers' first victim.
Yep.
His sister.
Is Judith Myers, the original Judith Myers. She's coming in to work on Halloween, or to work on RedHead 2. So we have an Indiegogo to contribute there. We'll help that.
Awesome. That's great. Great stuff. And keep up the great work. I mean, you guys are an inspiration between what you've told me about this story before even knowing that. You guys inspired me with what you put out there, but knowing all the backstories the struggles to get through it, the trauma overcome, you know, the near death experiences and everything, and to see it still come out there and be successful. I mean, that is true. Thank you for taking the time, though. I really, really appreciate it. I hope to see you at some conventions or some film festivals. That would be great.
I thought we were going to West Virginia.
Well, we are, but I mean, I'm before then. I mean, that's not till next year.
Well, she's a big fan of Salem, so she.
Yes.
Well, I'm only 35 to 40 minutes from Salem. I love it out there.
Well, the thing is, though, if we go to West Virginia, you know what's going to happen? Someone's going to get, like, be rude to them. We're going to tell them to fuck off, and the fight's going to start. You know us.
Listen, first of all, nobody's going to be rude to a lady who just shat on somebody, like fucking kill somebody with their own shit. Never mind what she does with a sock. Okay, I'm pretty sure they're going to be nice to her, and if not, she can take care of her own.
I was completely nice. I was a gentleman. I'm usually have my little quirks and my little remark. Not today. Nope.
No, you were even afraid. You know what could happen.
I'm so sorry. I should take off my lady in the room. I'm sorry.
Well, hang on. I love that. Nobody's gonna be rude to somebody to a lady who's just killed somebody with their own shit.
No, they'll be the nicest person to you. They don't even care. They're going to tell you it's the best movie. They're just gonna be, have a good day, ma'am. Thank you. Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Have yourself a great night. And thank you, everybody at home. Make sure to check out RedHead. It's on Tubi right now. Stay spooky, everyone. We're out.
Thank you.
Bing bong.